So put this on your fridge, take a picture, put it in your calendar, whatever you got to do. We hope you'll be there. This is also, let's see, did I get everything? This is also our stewardship season. So Gabe Beam is here to talk with us today. Gabe's a member of our vestry. She coordinates our TFAT ministry, food ministry. I'm probably taking all of your thunder, Gabe. Can you, but thank you for talking today. Would you come up here? I'm told it's a lighting issue. Yes.
Can everybody hear me? So I will say, like the Schneiders, following Pat Rudy was a daunting task. So I will just endeavor to present my story as best as I can. And hello, everyone. I think most people know me, but I'm Gabrielle and go by Gabe Beam. I've been coming to this church since my first visit in February 2006. At the time, I was somewhat newly married to my husband, Joe, and I was in law school, actually with Kendall Seal, who is here. I grew up in the Methodist church community and was exploring returning to a church home. I hadn't been to church for many years at that point. However, the Methodist church at that time had not yet decided what its official position was on the LGBTQ community. And one thing I knew at that time, I could not join or rejoin a church community that didn't know where it stood on LGBTQ rights, and more importantly, that its position on the LGBT community was not that everyone is a child of God and welcome in the church. So with that in mind, I knew at the time that the Episcopal Church had ordained a bishop who was openly gay, and that its services were pretty traditional, and that they took communion every Sunday. So I stepped into my first Episcopal church to visit, and it was this church. Jennifer Cohen greeted me at the door and helped me navigate my way into the sanctuary, because it's not easy to figure out how to get to the nave. And from that point on, my husband and I have been coming to St. Paul's here at 40th and Main. Joe was baptized here at the Epiphany. I don't remember what year, maybe 2007 or 08. We were both confirmed here, and our children have followed suit with their baptisms, being raised in this church home. Now, since that time, I'll be honest and reflect that we visited another Episcopal parish in the metro area, one that was a little closer to our house on the Kansas side of the state line. However, Joe and I immediately knew that it just didn't feel right, because St. Paul's has become our church home and community. This is where our hearts are. This is our family. I serve on the vestry. I coordinate our TFAP food distribution the third Saturday of the month. So yes, Stephen did steal some of my thunder. Joe does Meals on Wheels with Esom and Mary Bond, switching every other month, and he's doing that now, I believe. And our kids participate in these services with us. Not every time, but most of the time. And that's why we stay. We stay because we love this community that we serve and worship with, socialize and break bread with, provide our time, talent, and treasure with. And in this stewardship season, there's an opportunity to reflect on what we hold dear and how we plan to contribute in the coming year. What time, talent, and treasure we want to give to this community. In my position on the vestry, I see regularly the impact of our accumulated treasure to the church, in addition to the time and talent. Our accumulated pledges and gifts to St. Paul's are what keeps this community going and strong, contributing to the finances and upkeep of our building and staff, music and programs, food ministries, and liturgical services. Our contributions are what makes this community, and our family strives to ensure that we can keep these priorities going. We welcome everyone to join us in determining what they want and are able to give to keep this community strong. And I thank you for your time. I will say that in light of today's sermon, because Stephen had given me some tasks, and why do I stay? And I will add that I come to service most every Sunday to be a better person, to reset my vision towards God, to be deserving of the grace of God. And I strive forever for that. Thank you.
Thank you.